Hey, produce people, welcome back to the Produce Industry Podcast, live on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Well, guess what, everyone? It is IFPA Global Summit Week. We're here at the podcast studio in Tampa, Florida. We've got a couple guests in the green room right now that we are going to bring to the couch. As I promised, we are going live with customers, vendors, suppliers, growers, packers, shippers right here in Tampa, Florida. So we've got our first guest. It was a year one sponsor of the podcast. You might have seen him in groves across Central Florida. We talk tangerines, we talk navels, we talk juicy crunch, everyone. And I might have just given it away. We also talk about those Starburst pomelos. So today, our guest is Quentin Rowe. Of Noble Citrus. Quentin, how's it going, man?
It's cool to be here in your studio. I had no vision for what you were creating. This is pretty neat.
I was gonna say, what do you think? I mean, you got the juicer, the toys, I would say the podcast setup just for the industry. And I know when we first linked up, you were like, I don't know what you're doing, but let's be a part of it, together, right? So it's been fun.
Yeah, it has been fun. And, you've taken such a avant-garde approach to this whole social media. How do you engage? Where does it go next? I don't think you have a ceiling on what you're doing. You're still exploring. You're still heading in different directions. I'm excited. I'm old, but I get what you're doing. I'm not sure I could do it. No, I could not do it, but I appreciate what you're doing.
It's fun that, you say old, and I always reference Dan, the produce man, when he talks about being old, because he goes, heck, I'm not old. He goes, I'm 62 years old. He goes, my body might look old. He goes, but my mind and soul aren't. And I do,
I ring that bell.
Right? I think you do, because everyone, I've been on the golf course with Quentin a few times, and he has outplayed me very well as this young buck over here. But he still has a pretty good golf round, everyone. So yeah, I believe it, right? And I think that, fruits and vegetables, right?
Yeah.
You eat them like they're left, like going out of style. You grow them and you eat them like they're going out of style. So it's just been fun, right? And so building the podcast studio, getting to a point where we are today. We've got juice for you. We've got the Citricasa juicer that we brought in, everyone. So we actually have some
juice.
Noble. We have so Quentin, tell me real quick, what do we got here?
Those are part of our new generation Florida tangerine collection. That particular variety is called the Early Pride.
Okay.
The
Early Pride, that this is one of the first that you start with of the season?
Yes. And we'll start into some other varieties as we move through the season. So, oh boy, here we go. I love this stuff. I never get tired of tangerines. I guess that's what I love doing. But back at you, a pomelo.
Oh, these are one. I was telling you a story. So, a gentleman came by the office the other day, right here in the studio, and he said, "What is that?" And I said, "It's a pomelo." He goes, "Oh, I don't eat grapefruit." I said, I had to give him the whole story. He didn't want to take it. And then before he left, he goes, you know what? He goes, you convinced me. I said, what do you mean? He goes, can I take it? He goes, I'll try it. And I said, take it and try it. I said, I go, when I first met Quentin, I said, I just put sugar all over my grapefruit. He looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, what are you talking? Don't you ever say that in my packing house again. Remember? You were like, stop it. So, this is a good one too. I mean, again, I'm starting to get, I would say, an acquired taste for grapefruit. You got South Africa, you got Florida, California, and Texas. Even though it looks beautiful, it's always a little, you know what I mean, everyone? It gives you a little bit. So, well, talk to me about what's going on. We're in IFPA week. This week we are literally, all of us, the community's getting together. We're heading up there tomorrow. Right. So what's the plan? What we got going on?
We'll have a booth, and I'm sitting here and I can't remember our booth number.
I love it.
But we'll have a booth. We're in the Florida section. We'll be doing a little tangerine juice squeezing, which is always fun. We'll showcase some of our new varieties like our Juicy Crunch, Noble Juicy Crunch, Autumn Honey, the new generation Florida Tangerine bags. We'll be showcasing our blueberries. So kind of pitching our year-round presentation. Obviously, pomelos will be there with big and beautiful. So yeah, we're looking for a good show. And you know, this group, we've been beat up for the last couple of years between COVID, hurricanes. It's been a rough couple of years. So I think everybody's really excited to get back together and have some FaceTime.
You know, I was FaceTiming with someone the other day that was actually already at the convention setting up their booth. Ooh. And remember, I went to Comic-Con a few weeks back.
Right.
And I was showing all the pictures of the cool stuff. Well, everyone, there might be some cool stuff here. I'm going to have to probably take some pictures. But there could be a huge tomato, maybe things within the avocado industry that are going to set you off, maybe some big blow up items as well. And I think that's what it's about. It's about marketing, right? I mean, over the, you know, Quentin, from being involved in growing, packing, shipping, sales, purchasing, the marketing part has always slipped away. Am I right? And it's like, now that you're heavily involved in marketing, haven't you seen the ripple effect of what it can do, though?
Absolutely. You know, marketing sets the stage for sales. Okay. You don't, without marketing, sales is just about price. So marketing talks about the characteristics, the features, what's good about your product. And that's the message you're trying to deliver. If you have to resort to price, then you just have a commodity. And that's a tough act. So the mission of marketing and produce, from my point of view, is to decommoditize what you're selling.
And I think that's the goal. Think about it like this. If we keep commoditizing our items, it's just going to be like plastic. Yeah. So I definitely agree with you. And I think that that's where we have to keep pushing forward in marketing, right? Creating fun displays, right? Having fun to a point where people want to go, I can't live without this item, right?
Yes.
I want this item, cute.
And you know, the pinnacle of this is when we're not cannibalizing the category, not cannibalizing the rest of the produce department. Mm-hmm. The mission and success is when, as a produce item and as a produce community, we cannibalize the rest of the grocery store. In other words, we're raising the sales within the grocery store, produce sales within the grocery store as a percent of the total. If we're doing that, then we're doing a great job of marketing. We're interacting with the consumer, and we're having that consumer say, I would rather have fresh vegetables. I would rather have fresh fruit. I would rather have something fresh than something from a can. And if we do that, we're winning.
That's the truth.
The whole produce industry wins. So when I look at my little piece of marketing over here, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to say, I'm not cannibalizing somebody else within the citrus category or even within the produce category. I'm driving to get new people eating produce or eating 10 or 15 or 20 items a week, as opposed to
just one more.
Yes.
Just one more pomelo a week.
My personal goal,
right? My
personal goal is 30 different types of fruit or vegetable every single week. 30.
That's amazing.
And a lot of it, I'm going to get off my area expertise, but it's important. A lot of it is all around your gut biome, right? And as we're learning today, that gut biome has everything to do with your overall health and how you get old successfully, right?
Right.
So what does that gut biome need? All that gut biome needs to set 30 different fruits and vegetables every single week, and you're servicing it.
I listen.
Okay, I'm not a doctor,
and I will tell you though,
you know,
when we talk about like trying something new, right? I mean, even myself, I challenge myself to eat one mango a month, and people are like, I mean, that's absurd. But before I never ate mangoes at all.
Dragon fruit,
right? Dragon fruit, another one.
Fruit. I looked at that stupid thing. I said, "What? You got to be kidding me!" And you put two down in front of me, maybe cut them open and eat them. I do have a favorite of the two, but I was shocked.
Listen, I have a favorite of the two as well. And I think that you have to try all of them to figure out what your favorite is.
Yes.
Right. And so I think everyone, if you're going to try dragon fruit, then get all three of them, yellow, red, and red, because there's a red interior and two white interiors, but they all make a difference. Okay. Oh, hold on.
Oh boy.
We got, now this is, if you've ever seen this, I'm going to go full screen, everyone. Quentin brought these today, which I think was pretty cool. So I'm trying to get don't want to do clues close up, but this right here is a finger lime.
Yes.
All right, Quentin?
You are correct.
This is a finger lime. And these finger limes are like caviar, everyone. So you can easily cut this open. And this is what's so cool about it.
Here, rub it like this and let it come out in your hand. That stuff is so cool when you put it on salmon, avocado, cheeses. I mean, or just put it straight in your mouth. It is crazy good, and it's such a neat accent to any kind of food you're doing. You can even put it in a drink. Put it. You know what's cool? Put that in yogurt.
Ooh.
You talk about yogurt just getting spiced up.
How about sour it with some more more sour?
But yeah, they call that the caviar of citrus.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I remember trying the first finger lime. It was in Bakersfield, California, and they were really big, right?
Yes.
But yeah, that was like the first time, and honestly, that's what they call it. They call it the caviar of citrus, because just like caviar, you can sprinkle this thing over anything, and it makes it look pretty legit.
You know where it came from?
No.
Okay, so it comes from the outback in Australia, and it grows along the river. What do they call those, wadis or whatever? It's a completely spiny thing. It is the spiniest plant you've ever tried to be around, and they protect their fruit really, really well with those spines. If you want to grow one, we grow one in our yard, or we grow a number of them in our yard, and you literally have to pick them with welder's gloves that come up to your elbows. Otherwise,
because they have those thorns. That's right. Don't they have like these thorns in every single branch?
Every leaf has a thorn with it.
Yep. Every leaf, everyone. I agree. It's a crazy look. It's a tree. It's not like a citrus tree either. It's almost like a bush.
Yes.
But it's got a good stalk though for its tree. Yeah. It's a tree base. So, and again, there's not many of them out there.
No, I mean, I wouldn't grow it commercially because you'd have to sell it for like $100 a pound. So it'll never get that kind of audience, but a chef would love it. If you grow one in your yard here in Florida, they're pretty resistant to greening. So that was one of the reasons they came into Florida. Could that be part of the breeding stock that would help us fight against this disease that we're been ravaged with for the last?
Start planting these bushes all around the citrus trees. We're going to start lining them, and hopefully that'll help. But so we've got more varieties coming out through the next couple months.
Yes. Right.
We've got some projects coming out that we haven't talked about yet, but they're coming soon. We've got some more marketing fun we're going to be doing in the upcoming. We got Thanksgiving and Christmas. We've got the big push towards all citrus, as I say, right? Whether it's California or Florida,
right? We
got a lot of domestic citrus happening right now. And anything else you want to throw out to the community and let them know what's happening or what's to come?
One interesting note from Florida, we did just have a hurricane, and for all those people in South Florida, Hurricane Ian really did a lot of damage in Southwest Florida. For those of us further inland up, we're in much better shape, and it's a sad state of affairs, but the industry's going to have a lot of fruit to ship this year, and we're appreciative for all the support that the produce industry gives us.
I definitely agree with that. Hurricane hit both of us. When you're in Florida, that's one of the things we deal with, everyone. So Quentin, I appreciate you coming by today. We're going to be heading up to Orlando here really shortly. Cheers, man.
Cheers to you.
And we'll see you at the show. But before we do,
yes,
Let's go ahead and roll that fee-fi faux pum video.
Oh boy.
Welcome back, everyone. It's always great to hear from our sponsors. Fee-fi faux pum. You got to check out these Starburst pomelos, everyone. So again, it's IFPA week. We got multiple guests that are coming into the studio. We're going to be having our next guest, who's already on the couch from the green room, and he's no stranger to the show, everyone. He's co-hosted over a dozen episodes. We are walking together at trade shows, and heck, we do a little bit of business together. So let's bring on our next guest, Ross,
the produce boss.
Ross, what's happening, man?
What's going on, Patrick? It's good to be here in Tampa, man.
Welcome.
Nice
to
little
the studio.
warm weather away from Indianapolis. So
I bet. So what do you think, man? I mean, like I said, from the conceptualizing this, telling you I was going to get a studio, from it happening. What do you
I know
think?
we talked about a lot of different options. I mean, there was a lot of different things you were looking at doing, but this is a nice little spot here. So, with the kitchen over there and the shared spaces, it's a cool little building.
It's not bad. Now, I would say one thing we always talk about, should we have a mini fridge? Should we have this? Should we have this? We're trying to make this, I would say an environment where you feel comfortable. We've got juice.
We do have juice.
We've got a juicer. We've got it all. I mean, might as well just take a look.
It stands out.
That's the Restaurant Life magazine. It's funny. Carl Fiadini is actually behind the scenes, everybody, right now. That's not Carl on the front page.
No, it's not Carl.
But
not
Carl
at all.
Fiadini with the Restaurant Life, Walk and Talk, he's been helping tremendously with this, just getting this whole studio going, being able to bring this to life. This is a lot of work, and I didn't even know what to do until
he's definitely behind the scenes doing a lot of work. So
more than behind the scenes,
but
doing a lot of work.
I did bring something all the way from Indianapolis here for you to hang on the wall.
Well, hold on, we got it on the big screen, the jumbotron here, so everybody's able to see the Indy fruit hat. We've got a couple hats on the wall, but it's pretty cool because we put that hat with whoever's sitting there. So
I had to move it. It had to be purposely put in its spot for now.
What you don't realize, everyone, is someone else's hat was there. Okay? Ross kicked that hat to the curb. Okay? It's somewhere else in the studio. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't, but that hat got kicked to the curb.
It'll make its return.
It'll make its return debut. And someone once told me that hat that I kicked to the curb is like the best hat you'll ever wear in your life. Sorry. Carl's behind camera. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so listen, we're here for IFPA week, right? This is supposed to be the largest show, right?
Yep, largest industry show.
Supposedly. A lot of the smaller shows
in the United States.
Oh, it's international, I heard.
Correct,
International fresh produce.
But I've heard that Fruit Logistica in Berlin.
Oh yeah.
Just from a size standpoint, never been, but I've heard.
Okay, he's got
that is pretty massive.
I've heard the Berlin. I've been to Asia Fruit Logistica. That was insane, everyone. That's huge. It kind of has all international halls as well, just like the IFPA is supposed to have, like a Chilean hall, right, for South Americans. You've got South Africa, you've got China. So you got all of them broken down into different halls. So you're able to kind of, I would say kind of venture out and figure out what you need, whether you're importing, exporting, or just domestic, right? So,
yeah.
So what's Indy Fruit's goal for this week?
Well, we've got some customers coming down that we're going to be walking through the show with and looking for innovation, looking for flavor, looking for that experience to keep the consumer coming back to the retailer. From a retailer standpoint, with all the inflation and everything, you want to have the experience. People are watching what they're spending their dollars on. So, they want to not just get a cheap orange or a cheap grape. They want to have a grape that's going to provide an eating experience. They're going to pay attention to that label, and they're going to come back looking for more.
So you're saying they want a great grape?
They're looking for a great grape experience.
Well, you brought some Driscoll's berries in.
I did.
Now, we went to, it was kind of, I'm saying it's always kind of funny because we had to run to Publix. We needed some produce. Everyone, we spent like $100 plus in produce this morning, and it's all going to be consumed. Okay.
I did help save you $8.
He did. I had no idea I had a Publix account, everyone. Publix, you're lucky because I haven't been using my Publix account for probably 3 years. So you've been getting me on the discounts. Every time I saw a sale, Ross, I thought I was getting the discount.
Nope, you gotta enter. You gotta scan your card, man.
Publix, we need to talk because I need retro pay on all that stuff. Okay, we need to talk about this kind of stuff. Okay, so we got some raspberries here, and it was crazy. What did you say, Ross? We're gonna get up close with these raspberries. But what did you say when we saw these? Your first.
I was like, let's get some raspberries, man.
And what was the price point on the raspberries?
$2.99.
$2.99.
But with your Publix card, 99 cents.
I'm gonna get
because I think they rang up 2 for $5, and then that's where you save the other $1.50 by scanning your Publix card.
Everyone. I mean, this is it. It's always best when you get it fresh. I love good raspberry lemonade. So I think those are, real quick. I'll just grab a couple more of those.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Um,
We've been eating produce all morning here in the
juice.
studio. Juice, tangerines, pomelos, finger limes.
The finger limes were interesting.
Very interesting.
So what are you expecting? So as we go in, I know we've talked about IFPA a bunch because I haven't been here in 3 years. But when you're talking about going to a trade show this large,
yeah,
this many people, right? Someone like Indy Fruit, who's a wholesaler in Indianapolis, Indiana, covers 29 states. What are you looking for? Well, I mean, like I said, you said innovation, but is that technology? Is that new product innovation? Are you trying to figure out what better items to sell to the retailer? Like, what?
Yeah,
what are we
I mean, pretty much all of those.
Wow, okay,
yeah.
I nailed it.
So, I mean, we're always looking to help our retailers be at the top of their game. What new items are in the marketplace that they're missing or not thinking of, whether that is from technology, packaging, flavor, value, because so many people in the economic times we're in are looking for the best value. And that doesn't always mean that it's got to be cheap. It means that it's going to have the shelf life in the refrigerator. It's going to have the eating experience,
right?
And a lot of those attributes that people are going to be looking for as they go to the grocery store, because $50 in the produce department doesn't get you the same $50 that you got a year ago. So people are more conscious of waste and not wanting to waste any food. So maximizing technology for shelf life and those kinds of things. So where can we look to have the best value for our customers?
Okay. All right. That's interesting. I like that you didn't say just trying to find the cheapest product.
No, because in today's times, you don't, cheap isn't always good, and good isn't always cheap.
Well, I remember, I was watching TikTok the other day, and it was like a gentleman paving, a driveway, because like there's 3 types of ways to do business, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I want it fast and cheap. I want it. It was
no. There's like 3. There's 3 options: either fast, cheap, or good.
Yes, fast.
And
cheap,
and
or
you
good.
can have 2. You can have 2 of those 3, but you can never have all 3.
Never have all 3. I think
so pick your combination.
Yes, and I think that was.
You want it fast and cheap?
Analogy.
You want it fast and good? Well, it's not going to be cheap then.
Not going to be cheap. And if you want it good or great, then
it's not going to be fast.
It's not going to be fast, right? So I think that's the best thing, even when you come to it with like fresh produce too. Again, if you want it fast, sometimes it might not be the best quality because you're going to maybe pick early fruit. Maybe you got to gas it. Maybe you got to import it at certain times, right? You got to bring it in and have it, I would say degreened. What's this? Ripened, like if it's avocados or bananas, right? So there's a lot of different things that come up in that.
Well, I mean, listening to Dan on his Fresh from the Field recently, he was talking about stone fruit out there in California. Now, for us in the Midwest, we've moved away from stone fruit. Yes, we can still get that, but people in our neck of the woods are all in fall mode. You're going to pumpkin patches, you're going to apple orchards. So, the produce departments have flipped around. But, he had a good point on there last week talking about how the stone fruit, you want to eat it when it's a little bit more firm. It's not going to have that soft juiciness that you get during the summer. This is more of the fall crop of stone fruit. So, you got to contribute. You got to think about where the seasonality is and where we're at with it. Is it going to be the peak of the harvest right now, or are you looking at a few different things, seasonality. For us in the Midwest and a lot of our customer base have moved more to fall. We got Halloween right around the corner, so we've been doing crazy with gourds and pumpkins and caramel apples and apple cider. I mean, it's just been full on fall. We took the kids to a pumpkin kind of this place, Lark Ranch, on the east side of Indy, and it was rides and all sorts of activities for the kids. You get the caramel apple cider donuts, and oh man, just I don't know about you,
All
but
the good stuff is what you're saying.
apple cider. There's nothing better than apple cider in the fall, man.
We did
Whether you
the,
want to have it non-alcoholic or alcoholic,
Whatever way.
whatever way you want, man. Apple cider, just
We did the pumpkin patch about a week ago, but Ty was out of town. He was at his aunt's house, and I took just the girls there. And I swear, you saw the pumpkins in front of my house. I mean, I'm talking about, I think for one pumpkin, well, put it this way, for those 3 pumpkins, I paid $104 for it. 104. But that pumpkin it's got to be 10 pounds plus. Like, it is a huge pumpkin. My wife's like, are you going to carve it? I was like, no. She's like, why aren't you going to carve it? I was like, because I want it to last longer. And she's like, why do you want it to last longer? I was like, because I do. Okay? I know some kid on Halloween is going to have fun and be like, oh, Mr. Kelly's pumpkin's going down. He's already scoped it out. I know you're out there already. You're looking at my pumpkins and you're like, Mr. Kelly's pumpkins are going down. Well, I just want to let you know one thing. It's not Mr. Kelly. It's just Pat. So,
and November 1st, it's going to be over the fence in the backyard.
And then November 1st, if it hasn't already been smashed, 100% it's going to be going to compost over the back. So I completely agree.
And is that just so then next year you can just pick your pumpkins behind your house and not have to spend $100 elsewhere?
The conservation area behind my house probably wouldn't allow a pumpkin to grow. We have wild hogs back there too. Like so there's, I don't listen. I know there's back there. I know what's back there, but there's also like 6 inches of water that lines that whole.
You never know. You never know what could come out of there.
I'm gonna throw some pumpkin seeds back there. We're gonna figure it out.
That'd be a fun adventure to watch for next year.
You brought it up. You brought up Halloween. What are you gonna do for Halloween?
Well, I did order this like skull mask, and unfortunately, it came over and was not quite what I had anticipated. So I think I may revert back to like a scary mask for this year. So we're kind of going with the scary theme. My daughter's got the hocus pocus going on, so it's all going on. What about you? What are you going to be for Halloween?
Ross, I'm taking it on screen, but I think I could pull out old Spidey again. The Iron Spider-Man made his debut at SEPC, as you know. So everyone, we could do Spidey, okay? And I've got it. I've got the helmet. I kind of have the slim figure, but I don't have
the webbing
anymore.
You don't have the webbing?
No, I definitely don't have, and I definitely don't have the webbing. But obviously, something fun I can always jump into is the Iron Spider-Man, like I did for SAPC. So think about this, Ross. As we got IFPA, we've got the global show, we've talked about innovation, we've talked about moving forward. What can we expect from Indy over the next year? I just talked to Daniel Corsaro a week ago, and you guys are growing more, and things seem to be going in the right direction.
Fresh Edge had a changing of hands with our partner, financial partner. So we had a good run with Rotunda. Now we're with Wind Farm. So good organization. We're excited for all the opportunities that presents, and Indy Fruit's going to continue to strive to do everything it can for its customer base, whether through innovation, customer service, merchandising, all those kinds of tools.
So, Ross, as we start to wrap up, how can people check out the company and find you guys?
Well, we're on all the typical socials, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and those kinds of things. You can find myself pretty active on LinkedIn. So, Ross Nelson on LinkedIn.
I appreciate that, Ross. So, one thing, what do you want to close out with telling produce people? Again, we're leaving to go to the show tomorrow. What can they expect from Ross, the produce boss, at the show this week?
Well, I think we'll have some cool shoes that have debuted on social media that people have commented a lot on, and just looking forward to doing a lot of networking and seeing my friends in the industry.
Heck yeah, man. Well, let's give a big shout out to Carl Fiadini. He's our production manager camera, I would say engineer today, helping us all out. We're going to cut to a quick break, and let's give our viewers
Restaurant life.
let's give them a quick view.
Let's watch this video.
I say we do it and give Carl a big shout out.
I'm Carl Fiadini with Walk and Talk, the restaurant life. If you follow the show, thank you. We really appreciate the support. If you don't follow the show and you're a foodie or a chef or you're into the restaurant world, this is your home. Check us out. We sincerely appreciate it. All about the food. We're filming chefs, their food creations, in the best establishments near you. All right, so let me tell you where you can find us. We're on YouTube, we're on Newsbreak, we're all over the internet. We're also streaming on your TV with Roku, Android TV. You can find us on the Amazon app, and very soon, Apple TV. Come on!
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Always great to hear from all of our sponsors, as well as a huge shout out to Carl Fiadini of Walk and Talk, Restaurant Life, and he's been helping with all the production of the show live, helping with the setup of the studio, and overall just having a good time as produce people. Today, we have sponsors in the house today. We're getting ready for the IFPA Global Summit in Orlando that's happening in the next few days, and we're talking all things produce. We're talking all things supply chain. We talked to Quentin earlier. We talked to Ross Nelson earlier. Now we're going to bring on our choice sponsor, Jac Vandenberg's very own John Paap.
Hey, Patrick. Finally, good to be in the studio here.
I keep asking
That's
everyone,
great.
like, what do you think? I'm like, how do you like it? It's kind of like the recurring question, but again, from something that was nothing to now, just kind of bringing it together, trying to make it a little bit of a destination. When you walked in, you were like, I saw Pablo's at the front, and what did the girl at the front desk start talking to you about?
I started talking about these fingers of some kind. I can't remember the name anymore, but
Finger limes.
finger lives. They're pretty wild. Never had one of those before.
Never had a finger lime before, but you
No,
tried one.
I tried one.
He came in, everyone. He tried it.
It was good.
He conquered the finger lime, and he had no idea. He said, "Where are these grown at? Where can we find them?" Right. So
I need to ask the question.
and I think we
I'm not
still.
going to just put anything in my
I think
mouth.
we still have. I think we still have some left. So we do have some finger limes left that Quentin brought over everyone. But man, I'm glad you came in.
Likewise.
You flew in from
New York.
New York.
New York this morning, yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to Tampa.
First time in Tampa.
First time.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. What did you have window seat or an aisle?
Aisle
Okay.
Aisle.
Did the person on the window seat have their window open?
closed.
Because when you fly into Tampa, you literally fly over the bay, so you get the water view on both sides, and the
We'll have to
water
look out next time.
is maybe, geez, a mile away, not even from the airport where you land.
That's true. I did see that on the map, but I had absolutely no view. He had the window closed and was sleeping the whole way. So
That guy, who is this guy?
What can I do?
Window close. Who are you? Are you a window closer? I really want to know. Tell the truth. So, all right. So we did bring some of your products in. That's not the only thing we're going to try. We're going to try a bunch of products today. I've got some Sunrays grapes over here, and then I also have some Sunrays citrus. Where are these from?
So these, if they label, so they did not label because they hand packed these.
Oh, now I got to put my glasses on, everyone.
These are most likely from South Africa or Chile right now. I
Okay.
didn't tell you which ones because they hand packed it, so it didn't go through that actual machine with the printer. But that would be the two choices you got there.
I was gonna say we just squeezed some.
These are Murcots. You can
Some
tell by the shape.
we did squeeze some earlier too, in the juice machine. We still have our juice. Everyone, John's got some juice over there as well in
That's
his
true.
cup.
I have to try.
I think it's about time you try it. So you
I
talk
think
about
so.
South Africa.
I
This
think
has
so.
South African mandarins in it and Florida navels.
I don't think I've ever had navel or mandarin juice before. So It's good.
Tell the truth.
No,
What do you really think? Look, he's like, go in for another sip.
It's definitely richer, I think. Again, I live in New York. I've grown up in New York, so we don't have fresh citrus. So I am used to like Tropicana and all those other
the big store brands.
big brand stuff. So this, you can't.
Yeah,
beat that.
this is actually amazing. You really
can
can't.
taste all the.
It's extremely
the
fresh.
Notes.
Yeah, you taste everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't give you all that peel oil with all that citric acid in it and everything too.
I think that's what couldn't wrap my mouth around. I was like, I'm missing something. It's the acid.
You're missing heartburn?
Yeah.
That's what you're
missing?
That's what I'm missing. Shout
that's
out
what I'm used to with
Jay Gardner, Citricasa. He wants to have his heartburn because that's what he's used to. He's used to having heartburn, everyone.
Isn't that crazy? When you're used to something, you kind of miss it.
Well, and that's what, that's why fresh juice are in the stores. You want these in your stores because it doesn't cause that and you get a better experience, right? Yep. Than the big bottlers. Now, I'm not saying don't have big bottlers, but it's definitely a cool staple piece that you could bring to the
well, think about it. It's like going to one of these coffee shops where you can grind your own coffee.
Oh, true.
Why can't you do that with your own fresh fruit?
I haven't tried that yet. I don't want to cut my own fruit.
No, you don't cut but if you have a machine like that.
But if the pineapple core,
that thing
that just sizzles it, that's an option too. So
yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit. I say a little bit of shop, right? So the first podcast interview we did, we kind of talked about Jac Vandenberg, right?
Yes.
And we talked about we're going to do more sunrays. Okay, we're going to do a little bit more promotions, but I want to talk about our history deal.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as we start, I haven't added to that sheet yet, as you know. But everyone, we're coming out with a new podcast segment in 2023, and it's not going to be taking over, but we're going to add in produce history. And John kind of came up with it. John, tell a little bit, tell the fans and listeners what we're trying to aim for and what we're trying to do just to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah. So the idea is to really get to the history of the fruits that we know and consume every day and kind of where it originated, the really historic stories that you've never heard of, going back to Roman times, Greek times, Elizabethan eras. I mean, there's so many wild stories with fruits kind of intermingled within it, because fruit, and just food in general, of course, but fruits in particular, actually have a pretty amazing role to play throughout humankind and naturally impact certain degrees of history. So the idea would be just kind of tell stories along popular historic moments throughout time, and then just explain how we get to the fruits that we're consuming today, and just have a lot of fun with it. Because who really does know the full history of any of our products that we consume today, whether it be apples or bananas or citrus or grapes? I mean, I think there's going to be some really fun realities that are going to come out.
I agree. I mean, that's one thing that I'm kind of looking forward to, is that what can we find out? One of our I would say our fans of the show, she reached out already and was like, cotton candy grapes. She's like, how the heck did this come about, right? And then we were like, no, the history of grapes, right? Yep. And, we started talking about what we can do. Where did the grapes first originate from? Who was the first king that started having grapes in their dishes, right? All these like little fun little, antidotes within it. And I think it is fun because, I did a podcast in 2020 on Halloween, and we invited like voice actors on. We had Frankenstein and the Mummy, and we had them talking. But it was funny because they brought up the fruits that were in their time period. So like the Mummy was talking about like watermelons and mangoes, and right, just get really interactive with what they were eating, and how old some of these fruits were. Like mangoes, they are the symbol of love. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
and actually, like we were talking off camera, a lot of fruits have a lot of sexual, love, erotic.
Oh, 100%.
origins too. So stay tuned. You're going to learn a lot more than you would think or expect from fruit.
100%.
But look, I mean, in addition to all that, the history really actually brings you closer to that connection with what you're going to end up eating. Just like any kind of history you learn, when you learn about your family history or the history of where you live, once you kind of really start to learn and appreciate that history, you connect a lot more to it. Again, whether it be family or town or your country, same thing's going to happen when you start learning more about the produce that you consume.
I definitely agree with you. And you kind of get a better idea, and you're like, hey man, I'm eating the citrus from here, and you understand where it came from. And it almost puts that full piece together of that emotional experience to be like, I understand it.
Yep.
I get it. Right? Where did it come from? How it was? Where did the food come from? Like Chip Carter's got that show, Where the Food Comes From.
Right.
And I think it's amazing because you're going around meeting farmers, you're meeting people that are like, hey, listen, this is how the ag industry works. This is where it comes from. So, I mean, I think that's great. And then your guys' company, you're importing a lot of fruit into the United States.
Yep.
And that's one of the pieces that I say everyone needs to know about. So when you're talking about fruits, vegetables, you want to know where your food comes from, because a lot of times you as the consumer want year-round produce in your store. But guess what? We can't grow all that in the United States. So companies like your company, obviously, help with that process.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
And look, I know we got some grapes here. These and the packaging. We're going to talk about the packaging, in a minute or so. But these grapes, I got to try these. We're going to get a close up on these as well. Let's see here. Look at the grapes. John, you brought these.
Yep.
And what variety is this?
That's a good question. So my QC team packed it, so I do not know.
I mean, I always say, like, when I
It's
see
a
grapes
surprise.
like this, it's like globes.
They do look, yeah. I like that crunch.
Oh, wow.
I heard that crunch from here.
Wow. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, John, look at this. I mean, I want to pick this one, right? Hold on, this way.
I feel like I'm going to take out my paintbrush and easel here.
Right there. Look at this. That's fresh.
You can tell also with the green stems. That's always a telltale. Pro tip when shopping for grapes: always look for the green stems.
Always look for the green stems.
That means they're hydrated. Once they start to turn brown, it's not that they're bad. It's just that they're further along in their life, if you will, because they start to dehydrate. And as they dehydrate, they'll detach from the stem, the berry. And then once that happens, of course, then it further.
All right, so you've got the green ones over there, John. I'll let you dig into those. Grab those out again. Got the green stem. You can see it.
You can see there's a little bit of brown on the edges, but we're still doing okay. They're still mostly green.
And the Sunrays brand. I was gonna say I got the shirt on over here, everyone, so you can check out the Sunrays shirt. But this is the Sunrays brand.
Yes.
And what's the brand concept of this?
So the Sunrays brand, so when we created the Sunrays brand initially in 2017, it was for our Mandarin oranges. And the idea was not to create a brand just for the sake of creating brands, because that's one way to do it, just to kind of slap a label on it and you have a following and build it that way. But we wanted it to be something that told a story, that made an impact, hence the name Snack with Impact as the tagline. So right off the bat, we decided that we were going to make a difference in people's lives, specifically children who are pretty much associated with clementines in particular. So we partner with Save the Children. So for every package we pack, we donate to that cause. And I think to date, we've donated about $380,000 to the cause since we started. So proud of that. And then we took it a few steps further a couple of years ago with going towards the planet. So we started to add another gear, if you will, to really focus on what is our impact on the environment, on the planet. And when we say the planet and our environment, of course, that matters to us. But I think what most people subconsciously realize that when people say we want to save the planet or save the environment, we're doing that really to save our species. Because the planet
100%.
is going to be here regardless if we're on it or not. Species come and go all the time, and we are nothing special to any other creature that lives on this planet. We're just as significant as a mold, as to a tiger or whatever. We are just a species on this planet. We happen to be at the apex, but we are a species.
We are still just a species.
This is all about everything at least that's our mindset. What we're doing for the planet, for the environment, is to sustain our species and to live in balance with the environment. So this bag that we have here for the grapes is an exciting one because it is the first home compostable certified grape bag in the market.
It definitely feels different too from the other bag. We did it on the podcast, I think. I remember, no, it was with Severin. They showed me some of the bags compared to like regular plastic.
Right.
I mean, it feels different, everyone.
Yes, it's like softer, maybe.
Yeah, it's not as. We have other competitor bags, and let's see. We're not gonna show them to you, but you can.
But you can hear it.
You can hear it.
You have more of that crunch. Hear it like a higher pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't show the competitor bags, okay? We won't do it.
But yeah, so basically what this bag is made from is a blend of compostable polymers along with a blend of bio-based materials. And that blend allows this bag, you can shove this bag, this whole thing with grapes.
All of it?
Not that I encourage it because that's food waste, but you could throw this whole bag into your home composter at home, or whatever. If you go to an industrial composter, you can throw it in there as well. And this whole thing will turn into nutrient-rich dirt. The whole thing. Nothing. No plastic left behind, nothing. So I think this is really if we're talking about innovation, this is innovative. This is, and I'm not saying this because Jac Vandenberg created it. We didn't create this, but we've worked along with the company that has developed it, which is an Israeli-based company called Tampa. And we've been contacted for years as they were perfecting this technology. And we were really excited to kind of be the first ones, at least within the grape industry, to introduce this. So we'll be introducing this at the IFPA show, of course, this week. It's going to be heavily featured at our booth.
Well, I was going to say, give a shout out. What was your booth? Where are you guys going to be at?
2778. And we're going to be behind the Calavo, right? Did I say the brand? I never know. Calavo.
See, I got you.
It's like Target.
I've heard Ybor City be called Ybor. So listen, I get it. Okay, I totally get it.
So we'll be behind them because I don't know what their booth is, how big their booth is going to be, but chances are we might be hidden. So that's why I'm mentioning them. But yeah, so we'll have those bags there. Now, slightly older news are our Mandarin bags.
In older news,
we rolled this out. So 2 years ago, I think now. It was around the pandemic. So most people will know citrus to be packed in the plastic netting with a plastic wrap. So you notice there, I said 2 times plastic. That's a lot of plastic for a piece of fruit. What's great about this bag, and I think this bag actually has a really cool story, is that it's 100% made from tree fibers. And they're not just any tree fibers. So these aren't tree fibers that are being taken from trees just for the sake of taking down trees and cutting trees and deforestation, all that. These nets are built from tree fibers that are a byproduct of the thinning process. So good forest management, they're constantly trimming trees to prevent forest fires, overgrowth, things like that. So naturally there's waste as a result of that action. And so the company that produces this works with those companies that are thinning the forests. They collect all that clippings and all that stuff, and they grind them down, turn them into pulp, and then weave them into these nets. So this is 100% tree fiber based from FSC certified forests as a result of the thinning process. And just like the bags, these go right into your home composter. Now take off the tag. The tag, we're still perfecting.
Yeah, I was going to say take off the tag, but
the tag is still a plastic material on it. But we are working on getting that to be home compostable.
You can tell it's got a little like microfibers in there. I love it. Well, like I said, I mean, we've got hooked up. I mean, over a year ago, we started talking about the packaging. I've started getting to more about sustainability, starting learning more about, like I said, it's not just about saving the planet like everybody thinks it is. It's not just about global warming, right? It's about what we can do as people, right, as a species, to make things better for future generations, right? Not even our kids. Exactly. It's our kids, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be long after our names are forgotten where they're going to be saying, you know who messed this up? Remember the 2020s?
You don't want to be that person.
Remember that? Remember in 2020? And they'll be like, that's like 100 years ago. They're like, that's who messed it up.
Yep.
Those people were like, oh, no. Oh, no. So, yeah, man. So, all right. So we're heading off to IFPA, tomorrow. We're supposed to have a good show. It's going to be busy. It's going to be hectic. So I was going to just say, what's your main goal that Jac Vandenberg's trying to accomplish? And then let's get on the road.
The main goal, I mean, obviously we want to connect with people we haven't seen in a long time. We want to educate people about these solutions. They're out there. They're ready to go. This doesn't require much change from what you put on the shelf. It's the same footprint, the same everything. The time is now. There is no more waiting. If we're going to act around, saving our species, if you will, and doing the right thing while having an amazing time snacking on something that's nutritious, tastes great, this is it. And that's what we're hoping to really send a message on, is educate and get people excited about what the future has.
I love it. Well, looking forward to seeing the booth. Thanks for coming by the podcast studio, being a choice sponsor of the Produce Industry Podcast, which really means growing the industry together, everyone. Exactly. That's what we're here to do. So appreciate you. Let's get on the road and get to Orlando.
Sounds good.
All right.
Let's do it.
As we all know, traditional plastics do not rapidly degrade. If not properly recycled, they build up in landfills, pollute our environment, and ultimately disrupt our ecosystems. As a leader in the packaging industry, Severin is excited to introduce BioAble Solutions, the newest addition to our family of high-performance packaging. Enabled with bioassimilation technology, our BioAble Solutions products are 100% recyclable and uniquely formulated to fully degrade in both marine and terrestrial environments, leaving behind no microplastic waste. BioAble Solutions by Severin is a true sustainable option for the everyday consumer that directly addresses plastic and food packaging sustainability. High-performance packaging in a responsible format.
Welcome back, everyone. We got to hear from another sponsor, Severin. Look at some of those BioAble solutions. Talking about sustainability with John Paap. We're going to hear what some of the packaging companies are doing to try and make the world or species a better place. So we're going to close out this episode because we have to get on the road. We've got to pack all of this equipment up. We need to head off to Orlando. But before we do, I wanted to bring Carl back on, everyone, because he's the man. He's been helping out with the show.
Oh, stop it.
Behind the scenes, the lighting. You get the walk and talk hat on today, buddy. Listen, this has been a lot of work. I appreciate everything you've done. I've stuffed you with a bunch of citrus, a bunch of grapes. I mean, a bunch of orange juice today.
I'm going to cut you off because these Sunray grapes are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you heard the crisp.
I heard and that's why I had to go and have one. That was the whole point of it. You can hear it. I hear it across the room. They're knocking on the door here because you need to stop crunching. Okay?
It's too loud?
It's too loud.
Not my voice?
No, it's not your voice. I mean, maybe a little bit of the voice, but we'll ask Maddie about that.
Hold on. As you say, ask Maddie. Do you remember that movie? Maddie knows this. It was that website, Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves, yeah, I remember.
No, it's Ask Maddie.
That is the right name. That's what we need.
Let's get that domain, askmaddie.com right now. She's shaking her head at both of us going, okay, I can't. I can't with these two.
Mr. Administrator, can you get that going right away now? Let's get that.
Executive assistant. Oh, wait, we don't have those. We don't have those here. So what'd you think about the, I would say we did the impromptu live session last week. It took a lot to get where we are today. I had a blast today.
How many views did that live session impromptu get?
The impromptu one got about 175 views just on going live on the whim. It did.
And then on the back end?
I haven't checked it since we last talked.
All right. It's going to be a lot.
It's going to be a lot.
It's a lot.
Either way, everyone, we do this for you. We're doing this for the community. We're doing this for the produce and supply chain industry, how to elevate what we're doing. Again, it's about entertainment, right, Carl? I mean, we want to be entertained in our daily lives. I hate, yes, back in the days, you used to go and just wait for that fax to come in and just wait for it. And then all of a sudden AOL came and it was like, my ears. Trying to have a little bit of fun. So I had a great time with all the guests we had in studio today. I'm looking forward to getting into the booth this Friday, Saturday.
I can't wait for Friday. That's going to be badass.
And we are going to talk, we're going to have the magazine on site.
Uh-huh.
So we got the magazine, everyone, so you can check out the magazine.
I mean, we're talking magazines. We're talking videos, podcasts. We're talking fruits. We're talking veggies. We're talking chefs and restaurants. We're talking the whole 9 yards. Listen, at the end of the day, in this final analysis, we are talking the food industry at large and all of what it takes for you to get delicious yummies to your teeth, okay? And you eat it because it's good. And that's what we're bringing to you, right? You got the Produce Industry Podcast. You got Walk and Talk. I mean, who wants any more? Why?
What else is there?
What else is there? I don't know. Other than these Sunray grapes are really delicious. I will tell you that.
Listen, the first time I had the Sunrays, I told John Paap this. He had sent me them, and I was like, dude, what are these things? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you sent me golf balls as grapes, and I've never seen them this big. I wasn't
First
joking.
of all, let me just say something. The name John Paap, right? Like that, that's one of those names. Like, hey, get John Paap on the phone. He's gonna. I got a load of grapes coming through. He's gonna make it happen.
Get Johnny.
Get Paap on the phone.
Get Johnny on the phone.
Yeah, it's like Johnny on the spot. No, Johnny Paps, baby. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, to get the grapes that we want.
I just shoved another one in my mouth. There.
Yes.
Again, all these products we're trying to have fun with, right? When you know this, when you know the story, you know the history behind them, it makes it even better to throw one of those grapes in your mouth.
Oh man, it's so good.
Let me down my throat.
I know. Oh wow. 911. Someone.
Oh gosh, medic. No.
Administration. Call 911.
Exactly. Where's the executive assistant when
where's
you need
the secretary? I don't know.
Well, Carl, you're going to be at the show this week.
Yes.
So look for Carl, everyone. Look for us. We have the Fresh Cravings sponsored booth in the hallway section, not in the main entrance. We've been telling everybody that. And they're like, I don't know what that means. It's just, listen, it's IFPA hasn't happened since 2019. It's all new. We'll figure it all out. We're all going to be lost together, right?
Yeah.
We'll all be lost together in this mess of fun.
In that maze.
It's going to be.
We're going to do deals, man. It's going to be a great day.
We'll see.
Oh, man.
We'll see. Well, Carl, thanks so much, man. And I appreciate everything you've been doing for us.
Cheers. My pleasure, my man.
All right, everyone. So that concludes our episode today where we talked with Quentin Rowe of Noble Citrus, Ross Nelson of Indianapolis Fruit Company, John Paap of Jac Vandenberg Inc., and Carl Fiadini of Walk and Talk and the Restaurant Life. We're going to be heading up to Orlando. We're going to see you Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and possibly for a few hours on Sunday before we go. Now, we are in the Fresh Cravings sponsored booth that's in the hallway to the main entrance. We're going to pop up Fresh Cravings info as well, just so you have an idea where they're at. Because if you can't find us, make sure you check out the Fresh Cravings booth. Ask where you are. We're going to be doing podcasting. We're going to be doing some video. We're going to be doing some tasting of fresh salsa and hummus, and overall having a good time. Please come check out the booth, have some fun, and also ask me about my produce shoes. So, as I always say, we'll see you in the fields and on the horizon.
Thank you for visiting the Produce Industry Show. If you liked the video, please hit the subscribe button and follow. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at The Produce Industry Podcast. We'll see you in the field.